So we're here again here on the Gravedigger Report. Jeremiah Graves got a special guest today, JJ Davis from Norfolk State. Can't keep talking about this guy, my man. He is one of the best running backs in the MEAC conference. Let's go ahead and add him to the show. JJ, what's going on, my guy?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to have you on the show. You
Thanks
know,
for having me.
definitely. You know what? I got to say this, man. When I put on your film, it's lights out. And off the field, people are raving about you. Some of the accolades. Your five-time MEAC Player of the Week in 2021, and this season,
Mm-hmm.
you had a great season as well. You went into the season as a preseason All-American, and also in last year you made MEAC Player of the Conference as well too. Will play
Mm-hmm.
at of the month as well too. So just for yourself, man, I know you got a lot of goals, man, but I invited you on the Gravedigger Report because I wanted to know a little bit about you, a little bit more in depth. I know the listeners and viewers and followers as well did too. But tell us a little about yourself, my man.
Well, I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, which is it's probably like 9 hours away from Norfolk. So I feel
Yeah,
like that was a big thing for me as far as playing to the potential. I feel like I know I can because I always told myself in order to be successful, you got to be uncomfortable at some point in your life, and that was the biggest thing for me because I'm a mama's boy. I'm real close to my family, so leaving home and leaving my city to go play football 9 hours away, I feel like it didn't leave me no choice but to lock in and be the best I could be.
definitely understood, and you definitely did, man. Like I said, your play on the field is definitely one to see. And
Mm-hmm.
as a runner, as a running back, heading into next fall, I know we spoke about it, but you have everything at your hands as of right now. You're only a sophomore. You're going in as a All-American, for the second time as a sophomore. It seems as if, and you have the All Conference, and you're one of those running backs that's an all down purpose back. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what are some of the goals that are heading into the fall 2023 calendar?
I mean, as far as individual wise, I want to not only keep up the level of play I've been playing, but get better in every aspect. Of whether it be I get 400 more rushing yards or I become a better blocker on blitz downs. It's always about getting better for me. I just never want to get complacent because I feel like that's the worst thing that can happen for you. You get comfortable. So that's really a big thing. And then as far as like a life, I mean, wouldn't even say a life goal, but just my team. I want to make sure I get to the biggest stage possible with them so they could feel the same feeling I get when I get personal accolades. We can get a team accolade and be known as the 2022 or 23 MEAC champions, and hopefully get the big one at the Celebration Bowl too.
Definitely understood, and it's all about hardware. Hardware. I definitely know about that. It's definitely about getting those rings and getting those bowl rings. Now, here's the
Yeah.
question. Here's the kicker question: HBCU top running back in the MEAC conference. How do you feel about going to the NFL draft next year?
It's always been on the table for me because I mean I would always say it's been a goal because I don't like to say a dream because I feel like a dream is something that you feel like you can do it but you don't really believe in yourself. But it's a goal for me because I honestly feel like I can play at that level. I feel like I got all the intangibles even though I might not have the prototypical size. I feel like as far as mentality and things like that, I feel like I can get there. So it's on the table. I talked to my mom about it, of course, because that's first thing first. I gotta make sure everything's straight with her because I know she ain't gonna lead me astray. So that's been the big thing for me. That's the biggest thing right now.
Yeah, you definitely got to talk to mama about that before you start making those type of plans, right? Well,
Yeah.
I can tell you this: you're there already. As far as just your skill, you meet the eye test, and also too, your ability just to being able to see the holes and be able to cut the corners and have those shifty hips, and also
Mm-hmm.
your vision. That's one thing I do like about you is your vision, and then you can also be able to block. That's one thing about the running back position as well. And one thing that's incredible about your skill level of play as the running back is that you're able to catch the ball out of the backfield. Now, coming out of high school, you weren't highly recruited. Coming from
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. I'm from Ohio. I got to give a shout out. And
Definitely,
you got some good ball players out there. You already know what it is. But coming
definitely.
out of high school, you weren't highly recruited. And for you to have so much success your freshman year, your sophomore year, heading into your junior year, how do you feel about that being at an HBC as of right now, being at Norfolk State?
So when I came out of high school, I ended up I actually, well, funny story. I wasn't gonna play college football at one point because I had the state game. It was just a lot going on with me mentally after that because we was 14-0 and we lost to a team that I feel like we should have beat. I feel like 9 games out of 10 we beat them, but if we just had an off night, So mentally, I wasn't gonna play college football, and then I ended up having academics to go to Cincinnati University, UC. So then,
Right.
and the coach was already recruiting me there, but they just never went through with the full offer. So I ended up going there, and I told my family and my mama, I'm gonna go play here for this first season. I knew I was gonna redshirt. I'm gonna go play here for this first season and figure out if I still love the game. And then as the
Right.
workouts went on in the summer and I started getting scout team player of the week. As far as that with them, it showed me that I still had it and I still was real good at football. So that and then so like the middle of that season, I had told my mom I was like I still want to do this, and I said but I want to go to a HBCU. Like that was my biggest thing when I hit the
Okay.
portal. So I like because I had other schools that had talked to me in high school and like the armed forces they were talking to me, but I told my mom I said like I want to go to a HBCU. So that was the biggest thing for me. Cause I mean like you said I had offers coming out of high school, but they weren't what a lot of people expected me to have. It was like FCS or like Mac and stuff, which I ain't got no problem with. But as we both said, I felt like I should have more exposure, but it happened. So that was the biggest thing for me. I said if I'm gonna go somewhere, I want to go to a HBCU.
Okay. Okay. So why HBCU? You know, for
I think at that point in time, that's just what I wanted to do. I felt like that was what was best for me. I think it was a change of scenery for me because in elementary and middle school, I went to a private school, so I was around around a lot of Caucasian people, and then my
yeah.
high school was a mixture of both, but it probably was more white people than black people. So that was that. I
Okay.
think that was the biggest thing for me, just to get around my people who I felt like.
Understood. Understood. Now, based on the two seasons that you had, and we just got out of, well, we're still, moving forward in our productivity, as
Mhm.
far as, in the world with COVID. For
Yeah.
you to have those two seasons that you just had, what were you doing as far as, during your workouts, to
Uh.
make, player of the year, player of the week 5 times, all conference,
mm,
monthly all conference as well too, preseason All American. For those 2 years, you're just all star. So now you're heading into your junior year. Like, what was
mhm.
going on, my man? I mean, what workouts was
Uh.
you doing? I need to know.
I'm not in COVID. I was going crazy. I was working real hard in COVID. 'Cause,
Right.
my trainer, even though the gyms was supposed to be closed for like the guys he knew that was really serious about it, it probably be like two, three of us in there. We was going hard. Probably four times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It was everything. We flipping tires. One point he had us pushing a pickup truck. And I was that during COVID. That probably was the hardest I ever trained because I knew a lot of people was either gonna take this time and they was gonna rest and let it go by, or they was gonna go as hard as they could. So I chose to go as hard as I could. Because I knew coming out of that, it was just gonna be a whole bunch of excitement, and I knew it was gonna be some sort of rush because I hadn't played. At that point, it would have been 2 years since I really played in the game. So I knew I had to go harder than ever for that one. So I'm not during COVID. I always talk about that. That probably was the as far as working out. It probably was the most fun I'd had too because I seen the results and I really felt like I was working every day.
Understood. So now you're able to work out, like that, and you're able to take your ability, off-season workout so serious, just like a professional would.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel as if that's what you're going to do this season? Go
Definitely.
back to that same regiment, go back to that same method and structure, to mirror those same results.
Yeah, because I mean, I think, and even now, I feel like it might be not necessarily easier, but the mentality would be going into it, I have a different mindset because I've seen the benefits from what I did. So now I know this is the level I got to obtain in order to keep getting the same accolades. Because even though, like I said, it's not all about me, it feels good when you get the recognition you feel like you deserve. So I feel like that's gonna make it easier for me to go out there and them days where I might have to throw up a little bit because I'm working harder than I usually would. I'll be okay with it because I know it comes with benefits.
Understood. Now I know that, as far as for your name is ringing bells, across, HBC football, top running back, at Norfolk State, and also, in the conference as well. We
Mhm.
also had, Alfonso Graham from Morgan State. We also had Eric McCann, as well too, from Cal, PA, and you being a running back as well too. How
Mhm.
is the student body, being able to have a conversation and meet and greet, because you're in a potential NFL, player, and
Mhm.
how is that treatment, on campus, and how is that overall interaction, with the coaches?
Uh, Honestly, it's a bit different. Like I said, I'm not used to. I mean, I was 9 hours away from home, so I didn't really have no people. I didn't have anybody I really knew at the school. So I feel like once I start making plays and your name start getting heard on TV and articles and stuff, it make it a lot easier in general. People say what's up with you that you ain't never talked to before in your life, but I mean they just being nice, which I get it. So I mean I
Yeah.
think it made the transition easier for me because it was certain people. I mean it's cool to have somebody you don't know for real, but you sit around campus, you can say what's up to them and y'all chop it up for a little bit instead of just walking around with your headphones in, just doing what you do every day. So I feel like that made it easier. And then as far as the coaches, they didn't treat me no differently. It's not like they started giving me more leeway or nothing. It was the same thing with them. And I feel like that's what helped me because I feel like if they'd have laxed off, I might have laxed off. So I feel like them staying in that same mold helped me.
Okay, understood. Now, as far as for the workload that's going to be coming up, this fall for the 2023 year, how do you feel
Mm-hmm.
about that? Because honestly,
Uh,
you're gonna be you're all American, my guy.
yeah.
So how do you feel about that headed into next fall? Because you're gonna be carrying most of the load. You're gonna be on the cover of the profile of the magazines. You
Yeah.
already were. So how do you
Mm-hmm.
feel about doing that? Second time going around.
That's my big thing. I'm probably gonna try to put on probably 8 to 10 more pounds over like just the off season, gym from the winter to when the season first starts, just off for the health of my body. Because even though I know I play at this weight, I feel like if I add 10 more pounds as far as the safety thing, it'll help me take that workload on even more, and maybe I won't have as many bruises and bumps after the games from a hit that would have left a mark a year ago. This year I don't want to leave a mark. I want to be able to bounce off that and keep going.
Exactly. So how about this? Far as just overall in general, how do you rate yourself as a running back? What are some of the things that you perhaps need to work on, or you see something that is kind of like, hey, this is something that is not so much a decline, but a neutral level to where you can improve based on your ability and your skill.
As crazy as it might sound, as good as a lot of people say I am at catching the ball at the backfield, I just want to become more comfortable with it because I don't drop passes, but I want to look more natural when I'm catching the ball. That's been a thing for me my whole life. I look stiff when I catch the ball. I'm not stiff as a runner or nothing, but I just feel like flexibility wise and just looking more comfortable with catching the ball is a big thing for me. And then I got the want to pick up blitzes, but as far as just keeping the same technique instead of just I know a certain way I can get it done, but I want to do it the right way just for the safety of myself. That's a big thing for me too. So just blitz pickup as far as technique and sticking to what I'm taught and what I know.
Understood. Now, that NIL deals are happening across collegiate football and basketball and all
Mm.
sports for women and for men. Now for yourself, do you see yourself being a part of NIL a little bit more during this off season?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna try to get more involved in that because the when it first came out, I was so locked in on just the season and the football part of the whole thing. I wasn't really trying to put myself out there as far as social media and with the NILs and things. But I feel like I can now for my own brand and to better myself, I should probably try to get myself out there.
Understood. Now I know for myself, I'm all about giving flowers here, man, on the Gravedigger Report.
Mhm.
So when you're good, and people will tell you, my man, you're good, JJ. Like you're good, my guy. You're good. You're good. You're good on the field, man. You're solid. You're a solid running back. I can't lie, man. And for you to like I said again, for you to be me at conference, 5-time player of the week, and also me at player of of the conference as well,
Mhm.
well, of the month, that just speaks volumes, man. So hats off to you, man, going into
Thank
this
you.
year. But I can say as well too that I can attest based on to the ability, that you have, as far as just your running skills and your vision. You have a process to read the holes and not go down. There was a one play that I seen where you were able to break several tackles in the backfield, and then when you're in a straight out, stride, no one can catch you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm wondering what your 40 is, here in the grave
Uh,
digger. I'm wondering what the
the,
40
the
is.
last time I really got like timed and I ran it was at
Yeah.
Cincinnati. Actually, they did it was like I mean I guess we call it a pro day before the freshmen just to see where everybody was at. It was
Right.
late. I think it was a 4.36 laser, and I feel like I didn't got faster since then.
So
I
we're
think
looking at
I feel like I can touch low 4.3. My biggest thing is becoming more a stronger runner, so being able to maintain that top speed
right.
for longer. So I feel like for 40 yards, I could hit something real nice on the 40. I believe in myself on that one.
Okay, okay. Now, how about this? I'm always talking about the next level, man, because I feel like that's where you're going, and that's just the
Mhm.
reality. I know that's one of your goals. That's something that you have to talk to about, with your mom,
Definitely,
well, with the family as well too. And I don't know, obtaining, your degree is first and foremost as well too, if you
definitely.
haven't already. But also with the 4-3, and also with with the pro day, and individuals going to be watching this show. How do you feel about speaking to scouts? After next season and things like that. How do you feel about just being just being in that world of looking at that projection of being a pro player? Because that's what you're setting yourself up for. And I believe that when we had NIL deals and we have conversations like this, it sets a reality for the athlete. It also
Mhm.
sets a pivot point that provides a natural resource for an individual to have a holistic thinking regarding that project. And just for yourself, man, you actually mirror and have those objectives as of right now. Are these some of the things that you're actually thinking about, during the off season, heading into your junior year? You're like, hey, I might have to have this conversation this next year, headed into 2024. Like,
Mhm.
hey mom, what do you think about me going pro? Hey mom, what do you think about me having an agent? Hey mom, what do you think about me, you move 9 hours away from Cincinnati to, be where you're at right now. You're like, hey, I might go a little further, to pursue my dream, far as playing, working out,
Yeah,
for an NFL team. Like, how does that feel for you? And one thing I wanted to say to you on the Gravedigger report, that is not that far.
it's really. I think that's one of the other reasons I wanted to get more to NIL is just so I can get used to having those kind of conversations with people on those higher echelons. You could say as far as about a contract and how they go about things and just the business aspect of life in general. 'Cause I mean,
Right.
I didn't talk. I had business talks with coaches and stuff about scholarships, but like to really get into that kind of where I feel like that'd be a big thing for me. And as far as my mom, she always tell me no matter what I do, she gonna support me. So sometimes
Mama.
she jokingly ask me a question that she feel like a scout might ask me, or she ask me something and she'd make a joke like that's the kind of question they're gonna ask you, Jay. So I mean, she do little subtle things to kind of prepare me for that and what's gonna come with it. But I don't press it too much, and she don't, cause just off the strength, it's more of a mentality thing. I don't want to set my mind on that and not forget about the present. So that's the biggest thing for me. But it didn't cross my mind, and we done had a couple talks about it.
Good, 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 good. With here on the Gravedigger Report, man, we wish you nothing but the best, JJ. Hopefully we can have you back during next season. We definitely got to have you back, man, next season,
Yeah,
to see how
appreciate
everything,
y'all.
man, because, you're doing your thing, man. And shout out to Norfolk State, also shout out to Ohio as well. And also,
Definitely.
man, to your mom as well. I definitely know that you come from a great background. You have great support. So I definitely
Mhm.
want to conclude, this conversation, but we will definitely be in contact. Okay, sir?
Definitely. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, my man. Best
You
wishes in
too.
next season.
Thank you.
So that's another show here on the Gravedigger Report. Continue to follow me, Jeremiah Graves, aka the Gravedigger, on Instagram, Gravedigger_report, or you can follow me on my website, Jeremiah Graves, Gravedigger Report.com. Until then, take it easy.